about the grip? When you put the grip or you relax this hand?
For the drills for now, you know, like Matt had the hands were kind of not involved yesterday, and then we went to like this. I would leave the hands to be like the final. The grip to me is the final detail. What I'm obsessed with is the pyramid. I want to own that shoulder connection in the middle of his sternum, you know, middle of his body. And that's where I want to focus. And I want to focus on being able to generate torque. The minute we start using hands, the great thing about hands is you can move them wherever you want. So we use them to do lots of things, right? But generally they don't have any leverage. Not really. You look at like what the big lifts, the squat, you know, maybe the deadlift you have to grip because that's just the nature of us, but the lift isn't with the grip, right? You watch any good power lifter, it's all going to be these big muscle groups, the brace, as Martin said, it's not going to be this, yeah? So I try and leave them to be the final detail and just think of yourself as this really strong pyramid. So we're just going to have another go of this exact same concept, right? So the technical stand-up, Casey I think referred to it as the like the Gracie stand-up, right? There's like the two, and I think he certainly emphasised the one you generally see in, like he said about Hickson, the gymnastica style, right? And he talked about switching the weight into one knee. So again, to this same idea, this is all pyramids, right? And it's all shoulder in the middle when done correctly. So common mistakes I see with technical stand-up, even with really good coaches, they actually end up with a base like this a lot of the time. So it's actually hard for me to put my shoulder in the middle and twist my body here. And I find that like they're quite labored. If you watch people under pressure, particularly you've been hit, they're dehydrated, they've done a weight cut, whatever. Having, to me, the technical stand-up like an absolute masterpiece. It's also a great reference for all your guard, back. We're going to try and do a little bit of that this time. So there's three major lines that I want here. So first of all, because I don't need to, my job is to fight gravity mainly when I'm doing this. This is what I'm doing. Gravity's coming like directly down on me. Pretty much everything else we do in jiu-jitsu, gravity's coming directly down, but there's an angle because there's the interplay of the bodies, right? It's how we feel like we've got weight. So everything with this is going to be the same concept, but I'm going to put my feet together because I don't actually need, or relatively together. If you're wanting to kick this foot for like, you know, you want to kick for like MMA, self-defense, you can test taking this out because it will give you a, you know, much further kick if you're wanting to use that insurance. But the basic idea is I'm lined up like a bow and arrow here. I want my heel up and my toes down. My shoulder is going to my knee. This space is really small. The more I do this with my arm, another common mistake, the more I do this and I kick, the amount of work I've got to do to retract this leg is much harder. And you tend to see this kind of like little skippy movement that I've done there, right? And I think it's wrong. So my heel is up, my toes are down, my shoulder is turning into this knee. So again, I'm using my apex to determine my base. My chin goes back here, and the more you can bring this arm closer to your hip, you'll actually feel your hips want to elevate. And that's exactly what you want. So now when I do my kick, my head goes down to where my arm is, my heel goes to the ceiling, and I get up like a boss, right? I don't have that horrible staggered, you know, thing that you see where this all goes wrong, yeah? So you should be like that foot should kind of almost slam down. That's for me a good technical stand-up, not that this skippy stuff. It's okay if you're, but like you should be doing this perfectly because it's an examination of torque and using the pyramid concept. So hand goes close, first distance. Second distance, shoulder goes to knee. Chin is up, I'm looking back, I don't need to look at them. You can gauge the distance on this. The further you go, the harder it's going to be, the more you can kick it. That's the trade, right? But the big idea is like the heel is up, toes down, weights in this knee like Casey talked about, everything looking back. I kick, head goes down, heel goes up, and up I go, yeah? I've got all of this stuff I'm showing you on the YouTube channel, so, you know, if you don't quite get it, go on my YouTube channel. It's all there. So one more time. I'm here, heel up. Right, this is the same, by the way, if I mount bomb. All I've done is lay back. This is the same if I'm starting to go into iron pillow. It's all the same concepts, yeah? Only difference is my arm went down. So, hand right by the hip. Kind of almost lifting me up. Chin up, looking back, shoulder to knee, putting the weight in. Kick, head down, heel up, foot to hand, up I go. Yeah? Let's give it a go. Just space out, give it a go. Do it slow. Don't make it fast. Do it slow.